The book of nature is written in mathematical characters, argued Galileo, in Il Saggiatore, the Assayer. This saying is a hallmark of his scientific methodology. At age 45, Galileo perfected the Dutch invention of the telescope and turned its lenses to the night sky. To his students at the universities of Pisa and Padua, he taught the mathematization of physics and applied it to studying stellar phenomena. His scientific methodology, which included observation, data analysis, mathematical documentation, experimentation, and recording conclusions, established him as the father of modern science. His telescope observations supported the heliocentric theory proposed by Copernicus in his book on the revolutions of the heavenly spheres. Based on Pythagoras' teachings and Aristarchus' studies, this theory placed the sun at the center of the universe. Galileo was hesitant to make his findings public because he feared that he would become a target of the Aristotelian professors of Padua and the Catholic Church, who remained loyal to Aristotle's doctrine as it was recorded in the Syntaxis Mathematica, Almagest, by Claudius Ptolemy in the 2nd century AD. According to the Ptolemaic geocentric system, the Earth was the stationary center around which the heavenly bodies revolved in a circular orbit. Galileo was concerned that his ideas might be considered heretical and could be condemned by the Inquisition. To address the criticisms of the dogmatists, he wrote a book called Dialogo sopra I due massimi sistemi del mondo, the dialogue concerning the two chief world systems, in 1632. Galileo had reached an agreement with Pope Urban VIII that his book would include a conclusion that humans cannot fully comprehend how the world was created. He argued that God's power is limitless, and that there are ways in which God can act beyond human understanding. Therefore, humans cannot impose limits on God's omnipotence. Galileo's work compares the heliocentric and geocentric systems. Although he had promised to remain neutral, his sarcasm and irony suggest his preference for the Copernican system. He refutes Ptolemy's simplistic and dogmatic arguments by citing mathematical analyses and scientific data, laying the foundation for natural science with his monumental work. The Pope was furious about the release of Galileo's book for another reason. Galileo wrote the book in everyday Italian rather than Latin's intellectual and church language. This meant the book could be read and understood by the general public, which was a cause for concern when Protestantism challenged the Catholic Church's doctrine. Galileo was summoned by the Inquisition in 1633, and he was forced to renounce his ideas and publicly anathematize his writings. The Inquisition included his work in the list of forbidden books. In the event known as the Galileo issue, the Church attempted to impose its doctrine and religious beliefs on scientific truth. Galileo was found guilty of heresy, and his reputation suffered greatly. However, 300 years later, in 1992, Pope John Paul II restored his honor. He referred to the Galileo issue as a tragic mutual incomprehension. A famous story about Galileo suggests that he concluded his apology at the Inquisition by saying, "Eppur si muove," and yet it moves. This phrase implies that the Earth moves around the Sun despite the opposition of the Church. While it is considered unlikely that he said these words at the time, the phrase is still used today to describe situations where someone is forced to renounce their beliefs publicly, even though they know they are true.